Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another first try. My name is Nick and today we're going to take a look at Gamers Go Makers. Or should I say Game Dev Tycoon 2? No, I'm sorry. I won't do that anyway because I was one of the persons who said when Game Dev Tycoon came out that it's not really a clone of Game Dev Story. So why should I say that to that one? Anyway, if you need a shorter description, then you have lived the last year or two behind the moon because almost everybody knows what Game Dev Story or Game Dev Tycoon is. So that's a story description. Story? No. Genre description. As you can see, I've already started off a game, but for the sake of it, I will start off a new one. But before we do that, we take a look at the options menu, which is toggleable things. And with that said, we can start a new game. Because I'm a 90s kid, I would say we started in 1990. Whatever. Let's see the full screen. You can customize your clothing and your hairstyle. I think in one level more than Game Dev Tycoon. And that shows this because I'm an incompetent wet, so let's see. Let's boost 3 skills. And we can start off at the different locations. So there are the big differences between Game Dev Tycoon and Game Dev Story right here. So you have different locations in which you can have different advantages and disadvantages. And yeah, since I'm Austrian, I stayed in Europe. Let's take Germany for the sake of it. And there we go, your little studio in the middle of nowhere. And as it seems, we can research a lot. And before we go any further in, we research some stuff. Also, since 1983 or something like that, Game of the Month and Game of the Year will be chosen based on the review score and the sales. And yeah, so that's a thing. Basically a recognition for your good work. So let's see, what can we do here? Let's make an RPG because it's always so nice and beautiful. As you can see, there are no handhelds yet. Yeah, the Super Nintendo. God damn it! The Game Boy will be released in 2 years or 3 years, something along those lines. So let's take the Commodore. And yes, I'm sorry. It's reserved for the Super Nintendo, but well. This does not seem very limited to me. Yes, in the first years in 1980 this is true, but here it's not very true. I choose everything because I can. As you can see, the tutorial is basically in text format, so you can read through the tutorial if you need something. And the thing here is, the more games you design, the more tips you get what is important for which game type. So let's say in a RPG, for me important are well-designed game writing and game engine gameplay. And we can go ahead and develop that, because we can. Since this is fairly slow, as it was in Game Dev Tycoon, sorry, but these comparisons have to be made. I'm really sorry, but yeah. You can increase the speed of the game by right-clicking on the pause button there. So that's fairly nice. Other things you can view is the market share, which, funnily enough, when you develop a game, see a market share there, and if you go to the market share there, it's different, it's entirely different. So that's very interesting. Also, at the map you can take a look at your competitors, where they are based and what they do. So it's fairly in-depth in this case. There you can take a look at the best-selling games, etc, etc. So you have a lot to look at, to say the least. In this case, it is more fleshed out than Game Dev Tycoon. There are some other things though, which are a little bit disturbing. At least in my opinion. The case design, I think it's worthless. It's a worthless waste of time. I mean, it will go away, certainly in later on, but for the first few times it's very nice, but it doesn't seem to have an influence on your sales, you know. So after developing this, we've got some experience, because we can, and we've put the game on. We can put the game on the market if we so decide. Let's go to V8 now. Let's choose it a little bit lower, and there we go. Game is on the market, we get a review, and based on these scores we get a percentage, which is then the final score. In this case 69%, which is a very good start in my opinion. Also, the red numbers mean that this is something you should take a look at when developing another RPG, so... Ooh, 17 plus, ooh. The games are on sale for 90 days, so yeah, you get money from that, ooh, which is always good. We can go on researching again or start new projects. As we grow, we will get more fans. The more fans we get, we will get publisher contracts later on, and we can hire more staff or move to another building. So that's basically that. Let's go to another save. Let's go to the save game I've made before making this video. Here I'm 5 years into the game, as you can see. Yeah, whatever. And you have your employees. They are here and they are there. And basically there in my opinion is a little flaw in the design of the game. Let's pause this for a while. You have development offices and you have design offices. Cool, it's alright. But when you move on to a bigger estate, you have not much money. One room costs you 250,000. As I moved on, I had 90,000, and then I landed a hit and had much more money than that. if you don't have that much money, it's quite a problem to decide what room is the best one to start off. I thought, okay, I need a development office first. And what happened then, because I couldn't look at the hiring screen, is that I couldn't see what staff is available. And since you have a development office and a design office separately, you can only put game designers in design offices and game developers in development offices, which is a little bit of a problem in my opinion. You know, I kind of felt a little bit, you know, it felt wrong. It just felt wrong. I can't really describe it why it felt wrong, but I sat there with 20,000 and then I thought, well, now I would need some help developing games, but I can't because there are just these people available. Crap. So if you can loosen that a little bit so that, let's say temporarily, you can put a game designer in a development studio, I would find that really cool. Apart from that, let's move on in the game and develop. Meanwhile, another game. No, let's make a publishing contract first. Yeah, sure. So you basically start off with the presets. You can then enter your title. Ooh, you have a character limit, so I was quite happy that this one worked out here. And as you can see, we have some engine options, etc. available. This screen I really haven't figured out how to toggle off that your people are assigned to certain parts automatically. I don't really know yet how to work this out, but I will surely eventually find out what to do in this case. As you can see, I've already made a racing game, so let's take a look. We have previous settings. We can choose them and then we can take a look. Let's see. Gameplay is very important. Game engine is very important. The graphics are very important, so crank that up. Sound is very important. Sound design is not so important, so we can ditch that down. The world design, I don't know. System design, hell no. I don't know. It seems the UI is really important, so let's crank that up. Content design, I couldn't care less, so the AI gets the point here. It doesn't seem that level design is really important, and scripting as well is not important at all, so let's go into development. Good. Apart from that, I don't really have that much to say about the game. Can I make an ancient racing game? No. So as you can see, you choose this, the genre first, and the platform, and then you choose what kind of story is in the background. In this case I would say, oh, let's make a cartoon racing game, for God's sake. And we can translate it. Oh, thank you, publisher. So let's take a look. A mature cartoon racing game. What? Okay. Well, what I definitely will see is that a lot of people are going to play this and let's play it as well, because, come on, you can come up with different stuff. And this is, it might work out or it might not work out. What this is, I don't really know. I don't know what this UI element is. It hasn't done anything to me or for me since it was there, so I don't really give a damn. So, and while our electric boogaloo is in development, let's go to the final verdict. And choose a good cover for this one. Yeah, whatever. Is the game worth the asking price? Well, that's a really good question. Oh, I seem to have nailed it quite a bit. For 73%. That's quite okay. Well, is the game worth the asking price? Yeah, let's patch it because I can. The game has some bugs, I have found some, and for example, if you click on info there, you find the multiple errors right there. And sometimes this looks a little bit off, but yeah, it happens from time to time. What I have to say is that the game sure seems quite polished for what it is, but if you want something like that, I would really say that you have to decide if you want to play Game Dev Tycoon or this one. I would say it's not worth paying for both games because they both do the things relatively well, and I think there's room for both of these games, but you have to decide what game fits you more. I mean, with the latest patches in Game Dev Tycoon, you basically have not the same functionality, but you have some points of this game in Game Dev Tycoon. What you don't have is the flexibility you have in Game Dev Tycoon with hiring staff and leveling up and training, because this is fairly simple. It's held fairly simple in this game. So you have to know for yourself whether or not you want to buy this game or Game Dev Tycoon, or if this is not your genre at all. So that has it been for me, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been Nick, and this was a first look at Gamers Go Makers. Currently available on Steam for €10 or the original equivalent. Well, Gamers Go Makers made it first try. And with that said, I shall see you next time.